just all kinds of fucked up. Can't mute myself. Fucking doxing my Battle.net accounts and shit. Got motherfuckers thinking I'm a fucking famous baseball player. Or maybe not a famous baseball player. I don't watch baseball.
And we are live. Greetings, cyberspace.
Oh, shit.
It is Terracin, your favorite cyber bitch here. I'm still toying around with OBS, so that's why you'll see different things. So it came across in my Twitter feed, and I saw it on Facebook and everything, that some dumb fuck writer that used to write for Sesame Street has come out and said that Bert and Ernie are gay. Well, this was claimed way back in the early 2000s, late 90s. And they actually took Bert and Ernie off of Sesame Street because a whole bunch of Bible-thumping parents were like, "Oh my God, they're a gay couple. Let's get them from in front of the children." But in truth, they weren't. They were best friends. They stated this many times. And if they were a gay couple, why didn't they sleep in the same bed?
Because he liked the rubber ducky more.
Rubber ducky, I love you. Yeah. Yeah, so he did love the rubber ducky.
Actually, the song goes, "Rubber ducky, you're the one. You make bedtime so much fun."
I'm guessing there was a hole in rubber ducky.
I guess.
Well, he did squeak. So, I have a series of news articles. This one is from Fox News, and I actually hate Fox just as much as Scooby and Burnside hate CNN. Sesame Street confirms Bert and Ernie's sexual orientation after former writer's comments. Although they're puppets, get this damn thing off. People have speculated for years that Sesame Street characters Bert and Ernie were more than just roommates and best friends. However, after a former writer's comments on the matter, the minds behind the show are setting the record straight. The debate gained new life when Mark Saltzman, a writer on the show from 84 to 98, spoke to Queerity in an interview where he revealed that he always thought of the characters as a loving couple. Saltzman was asked by the outlet directly if the characters were gay, and he recalled reading about a child asking his mother that question. Saltzman, a gay man, said the story made him laugh. "I always felt without a huge agenda when I was writing Bert and Ernie, they were," he revealed, noting that he drew inspiration from his relationship to film editor Arnold Glassman. "I didn't have any other way to contextualize them." Oh, so evidently he never had just a plain best friend. Someone that he was just close with, but, you know, didn't have an attraction to. I mean, I have best friends that I don't have an attraction to. I live with my roommate that's female. Doesn't make us lesbians.
Damn it!
The other thing was more than one person referred to Arnie and I as Bert and Ernie. Well, a lot of people did that with that sort of shit. They were being assholes. He continued, "Because how else? That's what I had in my life, a Bert and Ernie relationship. How could it not permeate? The things that would tick off Arnie would be the things that would tick off Bert. How could it not? I will say that I would never have said to the head writer, 'Oh, I'm writing this as this is my partner and me.' Well, dude, you shouldn't have done that in the first place. You knew you were writing for kids. If you want to do that, go into writing for porn." Although Saltzman wrote for Sesame Street for many years, it's worth noting that he did not create the characters. See, he did not create them. I've been getting shit on Facebook for this. He merely wrote for them and several others in his long career. He also never made a canonical declaration, only gave insight into his writing process. Still, many took his words as confirmation of the long-running rumor that the characters were more than just roommates. However, to quell rampant speculation about the Sesame Street canon, Sesame Street's Workshop, which runs the children's show, released a tweet explaining the characters were meant to be without sexualization. As we have always said, Bert and Ernie are best friends. They were created to teach preschoolers that people can be good friends with those who are very different from themselves. Even though they are identified as male characters and possess many human traits and characteristics, as most Sesame Street Muppets do, they remain puppets and have no sexual orientation. The show is still on air after its initial debut in 1969. As a result of its long run, Schultzman is hardly the first to address the idea that Bert and Ernie are a gay couple. However, the tweet from Sesame Street Workshop on Tuesday confirms that the answer to whether they are gay or straight is a resounding neither. And that one is from Fox News. I just wish this computer wasn't so damn slow. Who the hell came in with Tickle Me Elmo?
What do you think? One of the only people you know who knows how to change his voice.
Oh, Scooby?
Hey now, it's not Scooby. Does this sound like Scooby?
No, it sounds like a fluffy butt. Alright, this is from BBC News. Somehow I lost the CNN one, but that's okay. Sesame Workshop says Bert and Ernie are best friends and not gay. The orientation behind the Sesame Street denied the cohabitating duo, and Bert and Ernie are gay following comments of one of the writers. Mark Schultzman said in his writing about the roommating couple was based on his relationship with his husband. Sesame Street Workshop issued a statement saying the pair do not have a sexual orientation. I also saw on another one that they do not exist from the waist down, therefore they cannot have a sexual orientation.
Could always do the Count Uncensored song.
There has been... I am skipping through this because most of this we talked about in the first article. There has been decades of speculation about the puppet pair who have been roommates, albeit in separate beds, at 123 Sesame Street since the program's pilot in episode 1969. Bert and Ernie have become icons in the gay community over the years and even inspired parts of the puppet Broadway musical Avenue Q. Waiting for this one to close so I can move on to the next one, which is from the New York Times. Or excuse me, New York Post. Sesame Street writer confirms what we all knew about Bert and Ernie. Bert and Ernie are more than just friends, according to Sesame Street writer Mark Schultzman. You guys need to put in former writer. Who joined the show in '84 and said that the two puppets were a gay couple and the relationship was a reflection of him and his partner. I was Ernie. I look more Bertish, and Arnold, as a film editor, if you thought of Bert with a job in the world, wouldn't it be perfect? Bert with his paper clips and organization, and I was the jokester, he revealed to the LGBTQ blog. So it was the Bert and Ernie relationship, and I was already with Ernie when I came to Sesame Street. The two puppets have been living together as roommates at 123 Sesame Street for the past 49 years, but slept in separate beds, including on opposite ends of the room. And they still actually had their own rooms. Bert and Ernie have been considered icons of the LGBTQ community for years, but Schultzman said he didn't write their same-sex relationship with an agenda. Maybe not intentionally. But in today's, the past couple years, that's an agenda now. Rather drawing from his own experiences. Sesame Street Workshop head Gary Nell denied rumors in 1994. They are not gay. They are not straight. They're puppets. They don't exist below the waist, The Independent reported. In 2011, producers said in a statement that Bert and Ernie were just best friends and do not have a sexual orientation. Music?
Nigga.
Thank you. I don't want to get a content strike.
What?
No.
I'm just rapping.
I didn't realize it was going through my headphones to my mic.
Oh, him. Yeah, I'm just rapping. I was just rapping. I'm an equality nigga.
Sesame Street Workshop doubled down on Tuesday, tweeting an identical statement. As we've always said, Bert and Ernie are best friends, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, I tried to go with legitimate news articles. I didn't go with the LGBT ones or anything like that. I went with, legitimate news articles on this because all those other ones are going to say what, isn't true. I mean, Jim Henson actually did an interview a long time ago. And he was asked the question of, what did you base Bert and Ernie on, or are they a gay couple? And he said, no, I based them on the Odd Couple, which were two straight men that lived in the same house. So this is from NPR. Former writer saw Bert and Ernie as a loving couple. Sesame Street Workshop disagrees. New life was breathed into a perennial debate this week when former Sesame Street writer, thank you for saying former, revealed that not only did he consider beloved characters Bert and Ernie to be a gay couple, but he used his own relationship as creative inspiration. QRT published an interview with Mark Schultzman, who worked on the show from the 80s to the 90s, asking him if he thought Bert and Ernie was a gay couple. Of course, he said he did. He told QRT that even though the inspiration behind his writing was clear, he wasn't exactly an open book about his work. Even though Schultzman is speaking out now, his word is far from the final one on the matter. The organization behind Sesame Street quickly stepped in, reiterating its longtime stance, Bert and Ernie are just friends. The back and forth with this, the latest in a years-long dispute, the Sesame Street Workshop issued on Tuesday in its same verbatim that it released 7 years ago. Sesame Street Workshop is responding at the time to an online petition making the rounds calling on the duo to get married. Bert and Ernie's relationship status was also notably corrupted in 2013 when the New Yorker featured the pair snuggled on a couch, presumably watching the Supreme Court ruling in favor of gay marriage. It was called Bert and Ernie's Moment of Joy. It even made its way overseas when a judge ruled in 2015 that a bakery run by a conservative Christian in North Ireland discriminated against the customer by refusing to make him a Bert and Ernie cake reading support gay marriage. While the debate over are they or aren't they may never end, some people are questioning why it even matters. Frank Oz, who is credited with creating Bert in 1969, as well as originally performing the character, tweeted, "It seems Mark Schultzman was asking if Bert and Ernie were gay. That's fine if he feels that they are. They're not, of course. But why that question? Does it really matter? Why the need to define people as only gay? There's much more to being human than straightness or gayness." When pressed by other Twitter users about how he could contradict Schultzman's point on The View, Oz doubled down, saying, "I created Bert. I know what and who he is." "We really have to stop talking about this," tweeted writer Eric Thomas. "They are Muppets. I cannot possibly summon the energy to have a position beyond whatever. Ernie did not throw the first brick at a stone wall." But as others have pointed out, Sesame Street Workshop's denial of Bert and Ernie's relationship on the basis that puppets cannot have a sexual orientation would seem to fly in the face of heterosexual romantic feelings suppressed by other beloved Muppets like Kermit and Miss Piggy. Louis Heisman of BuzzFeed tweeted, "I don't really care if Bert and Ernie are gay. They are. But I'm definitely over straight people telling me queer identity doesn't matter." So, I mean, the only living creator of these Muppets left, which is Frank Oz, flat out says they're not gay. So why in the hell are people still trying to say that they are? Seriously. Now, National, what is your thought on this? National. Porpoise.
What?
What is your thought on this whole thing?
Hey, where'd everybody go?
I have no fucking clue. Scooby's supposed to be in here too.
You run a terrible stream.
I was focused on what I was reading.
You are really bad at this.
I've got 100 viewers. I don't care.
You've got 100 viewers?
Well, not viewers, but subs. I really don't care. Evidently, somebody likes me.
I was going to say, I take that back. You're actually doing pretty good. But now I don't take that back. I let it stand. What's happening? Bert and Ernie shit?
Yeah.
I don't care if two puppets are gay. I don't care. I also don't care if they bicker back and forth that they're gay or not gay. Like, I was always under the impression that they were gay. And as far as I'm concerned,
hello,
they are gay. And they've always been fucking gay. And I don't care. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what there is wrong with, though?
What?
They took... Thank you for filling the dead air. They took Sesame Street characters off of Pampers.
I had heard about that.
You know why they did that?
I have no idea.
They said they took them off of Pampers because, and keep in mind, these are all fucking puppets, and half of them are animals, puppets of fucking animals, talking fucking anthropomorphic furry animals, right?
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, two of them are gay. So they took Sesame Street characters off of children's diapers, you know, sub-age 2 children, you know, who aren't thinking about sex or anything sexually related, They decided to take these characters off of the diapers because the characters represented masculinity.
What?
Yeah, and they replaced Sesame Street characters with I think it's like cell phones and cameras, or airplanes and cameras. So yeah, if you go out and buy diapers for your little child, who, by the way, even up to age 2 has no idea what the fuck a camera or an airplane is, so I guess whatever. Yeah, you don't get the cute little Sesame Street characters anymore. Therefore, your child doesn't. I mean, I don't care. It's just it's less propagandizing, and it's less product placement for your baby. Who, if you think about it too long, you realize that your baby doesn't really look at its diapers and stuff. It also doesn't like cognitively recognize like the little characters and stuff, and like they're like flipped over, and some of them are like 45-degree angles and 90-degree angles and stuff like that. It's just yeah, it's all basically a big fucking fuck show. So a bunch of quote unquote adults who are actually the real fucking babies can protect babies who honestly could give a shit less. I mean, I guess they give probably the same amount of shit. I don't think the design on the diaper stops that, but I think you get what I'm saying. The babies don't care what logo's on their fucking diaper. Only the adults who are literally of childlike mentality care. And Pampers decided that Elmo and Big Bird are too masculine of characters to expose 3-month-old children to.
Wasn't Big Bird always done by like some 6-foot-tall broad though?
I don't think that I don't think that matters to these people. He's a bird. Mm-hmm. He's a bird, and he's yellow, and therefore he's part of the patriarchy. So take him off of diapers.
Fucking people are unreal.
So, Scooby, what is your thoughts on the whole Bert and Ernie are gay?
Oh, me and Scooby talked about this earlier. Scooby just said gas everybody.
Bert and Ernie, well, look, they're not gay. They've never been anything sexualized, really. I just assumed they were bachelors because, Bert just seems like a curmudgeon and Ernie's crazy. I always assumed if they weren't siblings, they were either friends or cousins or something. And it's just Bert works, and it seems to me like Ernie's home on disability because he's nuts. That's always the vibe I got from the two of them. I never got anything sexual at all. I just assumed that they were either brothers or cousins, and Bert has to take care of Ernie because Ernie's insane. I honestly, like, living here, I just assumed that they were qualified for Section 8. That's just what I assumed looking at Bert and Ernie. Like, okay, it's the guy who works the 2 jobs and his, crazy sibling that he has to take care of. I never thought anything sexual at all. I mean, I just knew so many people like that. Like, you see 2 men living together, and it was because one of them was completely nuts and the other one was taking care of him. You gotta remember, our age, you'd see a lot of that with, like, the vets coming home from Vietnam.
Yeah.
So one of the things I had heard when I was a kid, somebody had said that was actually, you hear a lot of shit when you're a kid. Somebody told me that Ernie was he was supposed to be a vet suffering from PTSD. And that the laughter and the weird shit was actually his coping mechanism. I'd heard that one myself because everyone in Sesame Street was supposed to be based on characters. A lot of people don't realize Sesame Street came out around when the Vietnam War was going on. So I had just always assumed that Ernie was, all sorts of cracked up because he'd been like to Da Nang or some shit. So,
Don't they this is bathe together?
I just know that Ernie, he's got that rubber ducky and he's got the song that he sings with it. Bert,
don't they bathe together?
I don't remember that. I'll be honest.
You know, hey, rubber ducky, I'm gonna put my dick in your butt and fuck ye. Oh, look, there's Bert, and he's got his penis out. That's how the song goes, right?
I actually remember the song.
Right, and that's what it is. I clearly.
No,
also
I mean I remember it word for word.
Right, I just sang it to you.
You know what? We're gonna go with your version because there's not enough money to get me to sing it on air. So yeah, we'll go with yours.
Ducky, Bert's gonna fuck me. I'm feeling lucky.
Carrie, you're gonna get a call tomorrow from Jim Henson Productions. Just letting you know.
I know, it's so accurate. It's eerily accurate.
So I was literally getting shit on Facebook about this, and
well, that was your first mistake, was being on Facebook.
It's where I started. So one of my former friends, because I think they unfriended me due to this, says, "Seriously, who gives a shit what they are, and how is it going to hurt you? And SJW shit? That's a huge stretch you are really reaching for." No, it's really not.
Oh, dude, I just clicked on your thing. Are your 4 dislikes because I'm here?
No, it's because Scooby's here. We're not getting into that.
Oh, damn! I wish it was because I was here. Hey, you guys should put more dislikes on there because, if you're sensitive enough to not like Scooby because he's an asshole, then you should go watch my video where I ripped Sargon's asshole open because Sargon subsequently exposed his asshole to be ripped open by the entire world. So if you're a bunch of sensitive types, you probably also just love Sargon of Akkad and think he's the greatest thing since PewDiePie.
Now the ones giving me the thumbs down can, just thank you for the views, by the way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. One day. I'm
gonna go put watch time on their
I think you were actually on the stream.
on the popping up on the side of the thing. Yeah, that'll show them.
I had people come in and and gave me a shitload of downvotes, but I ended up with last I looked 118 views from it.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Your brother's in the chat.
Hi, baby brother.
Actually, true story. The thing that keeps me waking up in the morning is soft people on the internet's abject hatred for me. I wake up and I stretch and I'm like, you know what? There's people on the internet that are really fucking salty at me for telling the truth. Man, it feels good. Feels fucking good. Now I'm gonna go make a lot of fucking money while these plebes fucking go flip burgers at fucking McDonald's and think about me all fucking day. It's great. I also masturbate right after I have those thoughts too, because it's sexually pleasing to me.
You're also assuming that they have jobs to begin with.
Oh, well, I mean, with this economy, who doesn't have jobs? Am I right? Donald Trump's your president. Losers.
Yeah, you gotta have something wrong with you at this point, because I can't. I've made it a point now when I go around to look for places that don't have help wanted signs. Not finding them. So, yeah, economy's doing great. I'm happy. I think more people would be happy, but nah. Like you said, bunch of plebs.
All right, so to make Scooby happy, I'm reading a Florida man story.
Oh, nice.
Fatal punch on Grandy's median leads to manslaughter charge in Tampa muralist death.
Say
yeah.
what?
IRL One Punch Man?
Police are bringing manslaughter charges against a Tampa man accused of throwing a fatal punch last April at a well-known muralist, Matt Callahan. The suspect, 34-year-old Kenneth Mauga Marga of Tampa, already is serving 5 years for aggravated battery on an attack of a St. Petersburg man. He was scheduled to be arrested in prison on the manslaughter charge. Police found Callahan on a median on Grandy Boulevard about 3 a.m., April 11th, suffering from a head injury. Callahan died 2 days later at Tampa General Hospital. Callahan was 40 and left a wife, 5-year-old, and a 5-year-old son. His mural appears on walls throughout Tampa Bay area at locations including Lore restaurants in Tampa and St. Petersburg. The evidence against Mr. Maga is compelling. Callahan's father Michael told the St. Petersburg lawyer, or a St. Petersburg lawyer. Wow. Told the Tampa Bay Times, "I am extremely relieved that charges have finally been brought. New details about the night of the fatal encounter emerged in an affidavit filed with the manslaughter charge. Witnesses said Callahan and Maga approached one another and then walked away a number of times at the Warehouse Lounge on Grandy Boulevard, 2 blocks west of Leroy Selman Expressway. It started when Callahan walked up to Maga inside of a bar and tried to apologize for an incident that occurred a few weeks before, according to the affidavit. Callahan's father told the Times that the tension between the two men stemmed from an earlier pool game. Maga told Callahan again and again to leave him alone, and witnesses finally persuaded Callahan to leave the bar. Around 3 minutes later, Maga left the bar too and walked to the other side of the building where Callahan was sitting in his parked truck. Maga threatened Callahan and challenged him to leave the property and fight, witnesses told investigators. Callahan stayed in the truck and Maga walked back around the building. About 4 minutes later, Callahan got out of the truck and walked towards Maga. 4 people intervened to keep Callahan away. Maga walked away onto the median of West Grandy Boulevard. Callahan followed and approached Maga from behind. The Maga turned and punched Callahan once, knocking him to the ground, according to the affidavit. Surveillance cameras at the bar and at a nearby gas station recorded part of the altercation. They showed Maga walking away, leaving Callahan in the street. Callahan died from injuries he received when the back of his head hit the ground. A witness later told investigators that 2 days after the incident, Maga admitted to punching Callahan, but he said he did not mean to kill him. Maga is serving prison time for an attack in July on Joshua Manville following an argument around the pool tables at the Sand Bar and Grill. As Manville was standing outside the business, Maga ran up and punched him. Manville fell and hit his head on the concrete, suffering injuries to his brain and face that required 2 days in the hospital.
Yeah, it is pretty funny.
I'm sorry, did I just hallucinate that?
Oh, that's great.
Is that my tumor acting up?
No, that's her ringtone.
It's my
This
notification.
guy in your chat says he's sick and tired of homosexuality being normalized. All right, so here's the Bert and Ernie fucking red pill. Bert and Ernie, when you're a child, aren't gay because they don't do anything expressly fucking gay. There's nothing normalizing about the gay sexuality between Bert and Ernie. It's not until you like reach your teens when you realize like what sexuality is and what like gayness is and shit. You're like, oh yeah, Bert and Ernie, totally closeted fucking gay dudes or whatever. And that's actually the complete opposite of normalizing it. That's what Milo likes to refer to as keep it in the closet type of fucking mentality. You know what I mean? Like it's just the complete opposite of it being normalized. Now normalizing homosexuality, I agree with your sentiment on that. If it's taken to its accurate conclusion, like cross-dressers and trans fucking drag queens, it's trans drag queen fucking story time. Hey kids, let me read you a book while my dick's flopping around in your fucking face. Oh, it's okay. I'm just being me. I was born this way. Hey, let's go down to a gay pride parade and watch one man stick his fist up another man's butthole. That shit's sick. And yeah, I'm against that. But Bert and Ernie just being like a gay fucking meme, basically. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's kind of a stretch to say that that's normalizing homosexuality, or it'd be like I mean, I could easily take the that same conclusion and just be like pedophilia normalized, or pedophilia is normalized by fucking Sesame Street, because all of their real life guest characters are like adults and stuff, and then all of the puppets are like clearly children, and they're like touching them and stuff and hugging them and kissing on them, and I mean that would sound absurd, wouldn't it?
You know, my thing though, I've been saying to and a lot of the gay people I've been saying this to seem to get into like a seething hatred of rage with me. But I've said whenever they point out all the earmarks that they say that justify their claim that Bert and Ernie are gay, I say everything you just said actually marks them as MGTOW. So there's that.
I mean, you could be both. Men going their own way with other men.
I just have never seen any. I've never seen any.
Come on, man.
I've never seen anything sexual between the two of them.
Well, it's because they're fucking puppets. They don't do sexual things.
Well, I'm just saying, man. I got like at least 18 nieces.
Yeah, you didn't hear the article. One of the people at the Sesame Street workshop says, they don't have a sexual orientation. They don't exist from the waist down.
No, they don't have a sexual orientation because it's a fucking child's program.
Yeah.
It's a traditional child's program, not like the fucking shit you see on the internet that, to be fair, you don't see on fucking PBS with the fucking, what is it, queer kids fucking stuff? The fucking psycho it-looking thing with its fucking teddy bear that's probably been up a few people's butt cheeks.
Oh, yeah, she actually looks like this guy I know, Murray. He's an accountant who lives over in Manhattan.
I know you might misgender somebody. All right, look.
I don't know.
All right, no, real talk. It's 2018, all right? There's no phone on Earth right now that doesn't come with a silent feature. Right?
But I like it when it goes off.
Hey, I can't argue with that. You know what? The worst part about that,
literally what she just said.
That ringer. Now, when we were in D.C., her and Burnside were in the adjacent room, and that thing was going off at all hours. It was scaring the fuck out of me while I was trying to sleep.
I had to turn it down also for Burnside because it went off at one point. He had just fallen asleep, and it went off, and he goes, "What the fuck was that?"
Yeah, good times in D.C.
Son of a bitch! Like, it's okay, baby. I'll turn it down.
That was your cue to get your dick hard, boy. Get your dick hard. Come on over here.
We had fun. You definitely got to come with us next year. You'll have fun.
I am not fucking traveling to some fucking crime-ridden fucking cesspit. You got me fucked up, fam.
You know what's fucked up? It was actually like a vacation for me. It was pleasant compared to what I'm used to.
Right. I have literally been up to where you live like one time, and I was like, you know what? Fucking never again.
My brother says, surprise, Burnside got any sleep.
Well, I slept like the dead. The problem was, I didn't sleep a lot, but when I did sleep, I got a lot of good rest. But to be fair, we were walking all over that city.
Yeah, we were.
And I enjoy it there. It's pleasant. I'm trying to talk my wife into letting me move there. I said, "Come on, we got to move there. Let's get out of New York." And she's like, "I don't want to leave New York. The fuck do I want to go somewhere else for?" So, I'm having that. She does not. She's like, "Why on earth?" She's like, "Give me one reason to move to any other state but New York." And, I'm trying to explain to her, and that's the thing. She's a true New Yorker. She does not want to leave here. I'm like, "No, let's go, let's go check out D.C. I've been to D.C. I went there in second grade on a field trip. I'm good. All right. That's what I deal with. She doesn't want to go, she doesn't want to leave this state. You know, I'm even trying to get her up into the Hudson River Valley as a hike. She's like, well, what about Queens? I'm like, I'm not moving to fucking Queens and paying taxes out the ass to that fucking city that they have the utilities are garbage. You know, it sucks though because she's got her whole fucking clan here, and I can't get her out of the goddamn state. I'd love to leave here at this point. You know, go down to Florida. I'll become one of the stories that they read on the internet.
Like the one I have ready.
Yeah. I like your state. I really do. It's cool.
This one's actually from my town.
Oh, awesome.
Rush Limbaugh lives down in Florida. That's why Florida's cool.
You know why Florida is cool? It's full of skanks. And there is nothing more entertaining than skanks and crackers. But skanks are cool because they're nice to look at. I get a kick out of it. I really do. And I'm not saying that like trying to be mean when I say like crackers. I'm saying like that culture. Like I've met people down there and people from there when they came up here, you know, and it's a whole different thing. And I try to explain that to people. Like it's this wild culture that they got down there. Like I've had friends who are like from like like actual swamp folk from down there, and they're just wild men. And the chicks down there, like it's amazing. Like the trailer culture down there. Like I mean, I've met actual like white trash from parts of Florida, and they're not bad people. Just holy shit, are they wild?
Richard Art asks me, "What's up?" Well, right now my ceiling, but we were talking about Bert and Ernie being gay, so you'll have to go back into the show and listen to that because I read off several different articles.
Yeah, sorry I missed that part of it. I was still running around doing shit here in the kitchen for her.
I know. You had to roll out that cookie dough.
Oh, God.
I'm a big kid. Look what I can do. I can watch Bert and Ernie too. Do, 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 do. Mommy, wow. 2 men, puppets, and towels. Boom, boom.
You know what's sad? I was just thinking about it. There's no more Toys R Us, and now they're going after Sesame Street. They've destroyed Star Wars, and look at what they did to Marvel Comics. Oh, God. And they're doing to Disney. To DC.
Fucking shitty-ass Walmart put the fucking death nail in Toys R Us. It was just a long, withering fucking death for them.
Walmart and Amazon.
Yeah,
Target too. They've been fucking Toys R Us has been declining slowly.
Yeah, they
I used
have.
to love going there when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
Now they just have Babies R Us because Walmart doesn't sell too many babies' clothes.
Oh my God, our Walmart sell a ton of them.
A ton of them. What about like cribs and all the other stuff?
Yeah, they have all of that.
Well,
and I have 3 super Walmarts in my town.
oh, super Walmarts. Yeah, that might be the difference there.
You know, I actually had a woman call the police on me at Toys R Us, and like the cop came in and starts talking to me, him and his partner, and because I went in and it was for my nephew, and I had asked them if they had the old fashioned like the lever action rifle that shoots the cork on the string. And they're like, no, we don't carry that anymore. I'm like, all right, fine. So I'm looking at the video games. All of a sudden, like, cops come up to me, and they're talking to me. And so I told them, they're like, yeah, you came in here looking for a toy gun? Okay, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. They're like, no. You're like, they look me over, and they're like, okay, we can see exactly how it is. Just break us down. What were you looking to get? And I told them, and they looked at each other. And they went over, and they said to the woman, they're like, you know, because the manager was standing there with her, and it's these fucking liberals. And you could tell that this guy was, you know, he had the track marks on his arm from the soy IV, you know? And I'm looking at this fucking pansy, and I'm looking at this broad, And the cops are looking at him, and like they're explaining to her, like he came in looking for a toy gun for his nephew. It's what you do is it has a string on it. It has like air pressure, and it shoots the cork, and the cork is attached to the string, and then they put the cork back in, and they shoot it again, and that's all it does. It's a cork on a string that like the gun shoots. And oh well, this is the thing because of my appearance, these people thought I was gonna like use this thing to go like rob a store. Yeah, I'm gonna walk in there with a fucking cork gun to rob a store, but this is literally the mentality you're dealing with these people. And I remember I said to him, I'm like, I'm never gonna shop in your store again. And I remember, it was sad because I remember when I was a kid. Purposeful. Do you remember you could go into Toys R Us and they had a whole section of toy guns, all different rifles, BB.
I don't remember going into Toys R Us at all because as I've aged, I've increasingly upped my dosage of crack intake per day. And it's really affected my memory.
I remember.
They used to. Yeah.
Also, my parents were poor, so.
Oh.
Didn't take too many trips to the old toy store if you get what I mean. I was more of a hang out with the homeboys and beat each other with fucking sticks and stuff.
Well, I myself was fortunate because my father and mother,
upper class bourgeois faggot. I swear to God.
No, my father and mother had.
You're getting the fucking rope with the rest of the bourgeois.
My father and mother had no problem with me using the wagon and going into the garbage and getting out recyclables as a boy, which I would encourage any young person to do.
Okay, stop LARPing as a proletariat. You're not one of us.
No. My father, you have to realize the type of man that my father was. My father was the type of guy. I wasn't allowed to have textbooks in college because he had to pay for them. He said, you want those books? He said, get another job, buy them yourself. I'm not giving a dime to Israel. It's a matter of principle. And he removed the radio out of his van because he didn't like the lies that were coming out of the speakers. Most people would just turn the radio off. The man made it the point to actually just remove the whole fucking radio. So... That's no, I was not bourgeois at all. My father
That's exactly what a bourgeois would say.
All right, fine. We had two cars. He had my mother's car was the Sunday car for church, and that's what it was. You would have it's the Sunday car is for church, and your wife uses that. And my father's car was a work van because. What the hell does he need two cars for? He just needs a work truck. That's what his answer would be to you. So that's just how the man was. And when I got up in the morning, I had to be up. We had to go to down to the dock, go out on the boat, pull the traps, bring them in, unload them. Well, obviously you put them back in after you unload them. But then we would have to go drop the catch off at the fish store. I'd come home. At this point, the sun was going to come up, so we, it was revelry and fucking raise the flag and go to school. Get the break from school, go pull the traps again, go to my other job, come home, for taps, lower the flag, the 12 folds, put it away, and then pull the fucking traps again and go to sleep. Repeat the next day. No, I wasn't upper class. I busted my ass, and I'm not saying I bought any of those toy guns. I just remember because I go and I look at them because this is back when things were still made out of metal and wood and leather. They looked like real guns, and this is the problem you had. You had people going around like knocking over liquor stores and shit with toy guns because they looked real, and that's when they changed it. And it's too bad technology didn't catch up as fast because, maybe these kids wouldn't have all these ridiculous toys and they might have something that's, okay, you give them the toy gun. It's not that you're teaching them, let's say, to kill like a soldier. You teach them to be a hunter. Oh, well, the animals, that's great. They teach them to kill for food. How about that? Instill some morality into the kid, okay. Don't shoot the thing to put it up on the wall. Shoot it to put it on the table. Teach them like that.
Yep, that's the way I believe.
Yeah, but you can't even teach these kids that. You can't have paper boys or paper girls anymore because, the children's safety. You know what? We got cameras all over the fucking place. Let the kids learn how to earn an income and a living. Give them a little bit of responsibility. If it was up to me, I'd lower the age that you could go to work to 12. Seriously. Put them
That's
to work
still
at
a little
12.
young for me. 13.
12 is young for you? I'm being generous. If I honestly could get my way, I'd make them start working at 8. Saying that being funny. I'm being dead serious.
That's just what I know you are.
And when you say working at 8, and people immediately think I'm talking about, like, sticking a friggin' pickaxe in their hand in a miner's helmet and sending them down the fucking coal chute. That's not what I mean. When I say you give them a job, you give them a job at 8 years old, you give them something like they can go with their older sibling and help out, like carry shit, things like that. Give them a few bucks at the end of the day. Seriously, I'm not talking about giving them a serious work schedule. Let them learn how to earn something. Like you got an agricultural family, you know what? The 8-year-old, the 9-year-old, they're going to be following the parents anyway and helping out. There's no reason why you can't, just immediately give that kid a flat rate for the entire day, no matter how much they do. And you put it towards when they're older. You can let them use it now, whatever. You iron out the details. But there is no reason why you can't let a child who is going to learn with a family, like an apprenticeship anyway, because in my family, I started learning shit at about 5, 6 years old, maybe even younger. That's how it was before all these fucking liberals got their hands in everything. I say this as somebody who identifies as progressive liberal. I always have. Progressive, liberal, conservative. Which means I'm all sorts of whacked out and wild in my views. But there's no reason that you can't instill value into a child, learning to have like values, learning to appreciate hard work. I'm not saying work the kids. I'm saying teach the kids the value of work. It's the same with teaching them anything else. You teach them not to put their hand on the stove so they don't burn their hand. You teach them, okay, don't play with the knife because you're going to get cut. You teach them don't play with the gun because you could kill yourself. Why can't you teach them, okay, you can do this, learn how to do something with the family, and you'll make money doing it. Any child knows that. You ever notice when they show these kids, it's always a novelty. They'll show an intelligent child who can tell you basically how business or something works. Like they'll every once in a while slap one of these kids in a suit and throw them on the news as like a novelty.
Yeah.
Kids generally are not too stupid. You can tell them the basic things of like if you work, you'll earn money. And a kid will do that. When I was a kid in grade school, you had kids who were like in like 2nd and 3rd grade were paper boys. I don't understand why that's a problem nowadays. They had it worked out where it wasn't interfering with their school time. The kids had to be done with their homework. There was the parents' approval. Everything was hunky-dory. The problem was you had these, fucking kitty diddlers and molesters. If we just start bootstrapping the fucking penalties against these kitty diddlers, like really do some draconian shit, like, hanging from the fucking rafters, I think that things will be a little bit easier now. Maybe we can have these kids learning a trade with their family. That shouldn't be where you lock a parent up for a child endangerment because they're trying to teach their kid a trade that their father did and their mother did and their father and mother did and so on and so on. That's a real problem that we have, not just in this. I mean, I don't want to say fuck Europe, but I'm saying they're having a problem like that over there in Europe. I don't want us to start having it that badly over here where we can't teach these kids value of a hard day's work and just appreciating doing something for yourself. I don't know.
So
I'm just
are
saying.
you ready to laugh, Scooby?
Sure. I just finished ranting. I'm good.
I'm a big kid, look what I can do. I can wear big kid pants too.
That's going to be stuck in my head for 2 days now, thanks to you.
It's not thanks to me, it's thanks to Medicare, dude. He got it stuck in my head. You fucking take this shit to him, fam.
Alright, so I'm about to read an article.
Okay.
William Capron Pop, 49, was charged with domestic battery by strangulation, false imprisonment,
Mommy,
and obstruction of
wow.
justice. A Los Santiago man was arrested
I'm
in
a
Gainesville.
big kid now.
Douche. in Gainesville Monday night after police say he beat his estranged partner and choked her until she couldn't breathe. William, 49, and the woman had argued at the Econo Lodge. Pop punched the woman at least twice in the face and choked her until she briefly lost consciousness. Report says Pop took the woman's cell phone when she tried to call the police. He shoved socks into her mouth to keep her from screaming when a witness tried to come check on her.
Some people pay extra for that, by the way.
He also shoved her back into the hotel room when she tried to leave. Witnesses called the police. Police found Pop hiding near a dumpster. Pop was charged with domestic battery by strangulation, false imprisonment, and obstruction of justice. He was booked into the Alachua County Jail late Monday night.
You know what they should do to that guy?
What?
Banish him to the Shadow Realm.
Oh my God.
I just made my night.
Oh. Oh, too bad Burnside's not here. I could read this one called Chicago Cops Reluctantly Testify Against One of Their Own.
Where is Burnside anyway?
Work.
I just realized he... Oh, okay.
He actually probably just got off work. Because he was working 2 to 10.
He was asking me the other day to have him hooked up with a date for tonight, so I don't know, maybe he's out doing that.
A date?
Yeah, I hope so. Poor guy.
Evil bastard.
I'm a big kid, look what I can do. I can wear big kid pants too.
Oh, God. Fucking song.
Is it getting hot in here, or is it just tears blood pressure?
Pistol whip drug dealer arrested after bad deal.
You niggas should have never invited me to your damn stream.
But we like you.
Yeah, we enjoy your company. Seriously. Hey, there she is.
Wow.
Hi.
We're live,
Hello.
sweetie, just so you know.
Okay.
How you been?
I've been good. How's everybody?
Queen, how you doing? Really good.
I myself, I'm hanging in there.
Same here.
I'll tell you what.
You remember Porpoiseful, of course.
I remember who?
National Libertarian?
Don't learn today, that's damn sure.
I have never met him before, I don't think.
You've been on.
She
you've
hasn't,
been in
and
the
now
chats.
she will never forget me.
You've been in the chats where we had on purposeful discussion. Same person.
Okay. Yeah, I have met him.
Yep.
Don't fucking dox me, bro.
Not a bro, I'm a hoe.
Be right back. I gotta go throw this in the fridge.
Alright,
Fridge.
so pistol whip drug dealer. Yeah. Quade Eubanks, 20, and Billy H. Carter, 19, face drug charges. Gainesville police arrested 2 suspected drug dealers Sunday morning, while the buyers who robbed them at gunpoint remain unidentified. After police investigated, it was determined that Billy A. Carter, 19, and Quade Eubanks, 20, had traveled to Gainesville from Daytona Beach for a drug deal. GPD officer Ben Tobias wrote an email. The deal had happened at about 8 p.m. on Sunday. During the drug deal, Eubanks was robbed at gunpoint by the buyers. When one of the buyers tried to remove a box of cannabis from the trunk in Eubanks' car, Eubanks fought a second buyer who fired at least one shot and pistol-whipped Eubanks during the struggle. A police search of Eubanks' vehicle revealed a handgun, about 10 grams of cannabis, several vials of cannabis oil, and 15 grams of Xanax.
Shit. Homeboy was ready to party.
Eubanks was
For
arrested
real.
on 3 counts of felony drug possession and 1 count of having a firearm without a concealed carry permit. Carter was also arrested on a felony drug possession. Eubanks and Carter would not identify the robbery suspects. And of course there is a Crime Stoppers number.
Always with this crazy shit. Was this another Florida man story?
Yes, it was.
Of course.
Florida man and woman.
I love your state.
Fuck you.
I can't wait to move there. Seriously. It's gonna be awesome. You know, I was thinking of actually getting myself a nice blue and orange donk, like the New York Mets colors, and just go drive around down there. Really piss everybody off. Put like a big Mets symbol on the hood and the trunk. I'd be popular real quick. Seriously though, that was really cool. When I was down in Miami, you'd see all them like all the cars from like the late '80s and the early '90s whipping around on these giant chrome wagon wheels. It was great. I don't know. That's just me. I like Americana culture like that. You know, I like lowriders and donks and monster trucks and all sorts of redneck mobiles and, you know, anything cool.
Sorry, I'm trying to find more news in my town.
That's all good. Because I can't tell if, like, whether or not if I lost signal because I don't hear anything when I talk. So.
No, you haven't lost signal.
Okay, cool.
If it helps, I don't hear anything when you talk either. Got him.
Yeah. Well, let's see.
We triggered Brut's just, whoa, bro, don't come at me.
Yeah. There we go. Fix this, keep the cameras moving. There we go. Much better.
Oh, Scooby, look at you.
Yeah.
Scooby's hot.
Thank you.
Just
Oh,
saying.
whoa. Careful. We don't, I don't want to have to make another video telling everybody they're retarded because somebody said that Scooby was attractive and it fucking snowballed into, like, a bunch of bullshit.
Richard Art says, that's not battery, that's rough sex gone wrong.
True.
It's a good time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
High fives.
I have a feeling at this point anything I do is going to snowball anyway. So.
Hey,
Scooby,
you know what I'm
me
gonna
and
do?
you both.
Oh, you and Scooby are snowballing? Fuck yeah. Scooby, you dirty bastard. I'm gonna write a letter to my local representative, and I'm gonna be like, hey, bro, I want to be completely confidential with you, bro. And I'm gonna say like Dianne Feinstein, about 50 years ago. We went to high school together, and she filled me up and grabbed my fucking penor and fondled my butt cheeks and slipped her finger in my butthole, and yeah, I'm gonna leak it. I'm gonna leak it to the press, so it gets a bunch of spin and stuff and speculation in the news. Then you guys are gonna see me. I'll do a full face reveal on catch me on fucking CNN, my Senate committee hearing.
Cool.
Thank you for your support. I appreciate
No
that.
problem.
Now I'm really gonna do it because a man on the internet said cool.
Yeah, I'm not ready to do no face reveals. I'm good with this. Besides, I actually prefer this to my face. I like it better.
I prefer that to your face too.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm getting tired. I'm getting fucking tired. Let's look at chat. reply to chat. What's going on, chat? What is doing?
Let's see, what is chat doing?
Let's see. We got a what the fuck? We got I think you pissed off Elf Mama. I don't know who that is.
I'm Elf Mama.
Good. You. Wow, that's definitely good. Definitely good. Pissed you off. See, we got Cork. Rich has arrived. Hello, Rich. We got Ernie over Bert, which yeah, and I agree. Shut up, Bert, apologist. Oof. Ouch. And Bert has a cute bum. Right. Good night, everybody.
Well, too bad Burnside's not here for this one. It's pedophile's decapitated corpse found on judge's doorstep after bail hearing in Aurora, Illinois.
Oh, poor pedophile. Not really.
The decapitated corpse that was found on a judge's doorstep in Aurora, Illinois, has been identified as belonging to a notorious pedophile who was recently allowed to walk free on bail by the judge, according to reports. William Smith, 28, of Aurora, Illinois, was discovered in the early hours of Tuesday morning decapitated and slumped against the front door of a judge who had granted him bail. Smith was arrested last month following allegations by his girlfriend that he had raped her 8-year-old daughter. After a police investigation in which Smith was found in possession of child pornography, he was arrested on 2 counts related to child pornography and 1 count of child molestation. After being charged, Smith walked free from the court after the judge controversially ruled that he did not pose a threat to the local community, and he raised the bail to $30,000. The alleged victim's family said they were shocked that Smith had been allowed to walk free from court. Smith was awaiting trial for his crimes and was awaiting a court date which was due to be scheduled for later this year. However, it seems that somebody from the local Aurora community decided to take matters into their own hands. Scooby, what were you doing in Aurora?
Not me. I've never been further west than, I think the furthest west I've ever been is Pennsylvania. So.
Admit it was you.
No, I'm a man of peace.
The judge whose name was...
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
The judge whose name has been withheld was awoken around 3 a.m. by his frenzied dog barking. When he went outside to find out what his dog was barking about, he found the decapitated body of the man he had allowed to walk free slumped against his door with the severed head left on the steps. Investigating officers described his death scene as resembling a gangland-style execution. A local resident said of the horrific discovery that finding a headless body is an unusual occurrence. This is a nice area. This is the kind of thing that usually happens in mob films, but not around here. Aurora police say they are currently following leads, but have yet to make any arrests for the murder.
Well, that sucks. My prayers go out.
One less pedophile we have to worry about. Sorry, if you're a pedophile, you're a kitty diddler, you don't deserve to be alive. That's how I feel.
Well, I'm just saying, when I say my condolences go out with the deceased, I was raised Catholic, old school Catholic. Oh, what this guy's got in store for him if it's actually accurate, yeah, it ain't gonna be pleasant. So, yeah.
But why would you want to keep the head? That's what I don't understand. Like that.
What, to keep the guy's head? That's a trophy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I understand it's a trophy, but whatever. Okay.
My guess is probably personal, and the head is probably. Oh fuck! I mean, if somebody touched like one of my kids, I wouldn't take their head. I'd probably take their hands, and I'll be honest with you. I'd probably have them in a pickle jar behind me while I stream. You know? So, I could see why they take the head.
So,
you know, if...
Scooby, the Onion put out an article. Said Trump pours himself a glass of chocolate syrup on the rocks to unwind after a stressful day.
Gotta love the Onion. See, something like that, I got no problem with. You know, because that is funny satire. The man, oh my God, his diet is like saturated fat smothered in salt. So, fuck it, it's fuel. I mean, God bless him. Look at him. He's working like at least 16-hour days, so I ain't gonna knock it. But yeah, I that's like the thing you showed me the other day when we was in D.C. The thing with the Muppets. That's funny. That's funny. See, I remember when I was younger, when Reagan was president, you know, and the comedians would make fun of Reagan, but there was like that modicum of respect there still. I got no problem with jokes. You know, it's just like the left don't understand. They do not understand they're not funny. That's the thing. They're mean. They're cruel. They say horrible shit. Who wants to hear that? I came up as a teenager with Def Comedy Jam on HBO when they used to film it up over in the Apollo in Harlem. And it was dirty as hell and it was raunchy. But they were funny. And I used to watch a lot of the other comedians who didn't work in blue, like on A&E's an Evening at the Improv. And they used to have VH1 Spotlight. Rosie O'Donnell, actually, that's how she got her start. She hosted that when they used to have it right over, they had it out east from me, over in Comac. And that's where she got started, out in Comac, because she lived there. And she used to go right down to the club. My brother was he was telling me about her. That I don't know if she's a lesbian now, but she wasn't back then.
Rosie O'Donnell? She's always been a lesbian, actually.
Yeah, she's a lesbian.
She was conforming.
Yeah. I love how they say, look, I know a bunch of people that used to go to that bar. She must have, I'm surprised she didn't get an Academy Award then.
I loved her until she went a little wackadoo.
No, I mean, because she was constantly, like, she was aggressive with the men. So, I mean, yeah, whatever. I'm just saying, you know, it's...
Well, actually, I've met lesbians that came out of the closet later, that they were lesbian, and before that, they were aggressive with men.
Oh yeah,
it's because they were trying to figure, they're like, why won't a man stay with me? Am I too controlling and stuff like that? And turns out it's because they want to be. The man, and the man wants to be the man, and later they realize, oh shit, I prefer women.
Well, it's like Shakespeare said, the lady doth protest too much. So, like, hey, whatever. I'm just saying, back in the day, Rosie, well, it's probably like you said. She, fuck it don't even matter at this point anyway.
Well, you have to remember when the era that, you and her were brought up, it was taboo to be that way.
It was changing when I was a kid.
Well, it was changing when I was a kid, too. But it was still taboo.
Yeah, it was, it was, oh my God, it was, I remember... It's got to be about probably like 93 or 94. And, oh God, where was it? What mall? It was probably the Green Acres Mall. Maybe even the Sunrise Mall. I can't remember which one. But they would assault the gay people. Like, out in the parking lots. They gay bashed them is what they would do. They, that's part of the thing I was trying to explain to Irv the other night. Because, God bless him. I love Irv like a brother. And, the thing of it is, like, I understand where he's coming from. We shouldn't have to have cameras all over the place. You know, we shouldn't have to carry ID on us at all times. You shouldn't have to have $1 on you so you don't get locked up for vagrancy. Yeah, that's great, Irv. You're in Toronto, which it's been having it hard lately. Don't get me wrong with all that crazy shit because Trudeau's an imbecile. But the thing of it is, like, I remember when I was a kid. You know, I got mugged a bunch of times when I was a kid. Like, other teenagers would take my chains. They'd take my hat, my jacket, if I had money on me, you know, like, I mean, you know, they don't have to, like, always pull a gun on you like in a movie. They don't always have to pull a knife. They could have something else on them, or they could just be a bunch of them. And if you have things that they want, they're going to take it from you. And I'd say well over a dozen times since I was a kid, I got mugged for things. And everyone always thinks it's like a movie. You know, you get dragged into an alley. It's a guy wearing a bandana over his mask, over his face. None of that. No, it's none of that. It's always, in my experience, I never got mugged by strangers. It was always people from the neighborhood. It was always people I knew. You know, you get rolled for things. Now, this is the thing. You get rolled. Now, you get older, you'd run into these people again, you'd wind up getting into, you know, dust-ups with them. That was just how it was. They'd toss you when you were a kid. You'd see them when you were older at the bar. They'd be half in their bag, you know, because they're in the cup, so you'd wind up getting into the mix with them. And that's basically how it was. And I was trying to tell Irv, I'm actually for all of that extra stuff. I'm for stop and frisk, as long as it's done properly and they know what the hell they're doing and they train these guys. But, you know, I'm for all that to keep it safe, but I'm also for, specifically for my state, I would like my state to not only be constitutional carry and concealed carry, I want it to be open carry also. Like, I remember when I was younger, before the Brady laws, when you could actually carry a piece on you, New York was really bad. And what kept it from turning into Gotham City was people were still able to walk around with a gun on them. Not no more. And that's when they brought in all the cameras and everything. Now, a lot of people don't realize, you go into Manhattan, like when I was there the other day, there's still soldiers all over Manhattan. They're all over Midtown. I don't know about Uptown. I haven't been up and home in a minute. Same thing with downtown. I haven't been to Chinatown since probably San Gennaro last year. Ooh, today's day. San Gennaro feast is this week.
Oh,
that's
Scooby.
So cool. Yeah.
Jean-Pierre asks, Scooby, thoughts on Stormy Daniels talking about Trump's pubes and his dick?
Jean-Pierre, I'll be completely honest with you. This is no disrespect to anybody who talks about sexual things. It's my thing is I don't like talking about sexual things just because, you know, we do have, you know, younger people who watch sometimes, and not just that, just me personally. I was raised Catholic. I don't believe in a dogma myself, you know. World's not flat. The sun does not go around the earth, you know. So I'm not like, I don't believe in the old school Catholic dogma, but the values. And her talking about that.
She's just a nasty bitch. Like, if Trump if it's not affecting his job, who cares who he's screwing? Like, Melania obviously don't care because she's gonna get hers anyway. She's got kids by him, so she don't care. As long as she's getting hers, she don't care. But it's like, who cares if he's out here dicking this one, and those two, and as long as it's not affecting his job, I don't care.
Yeah, and you know, it shouldn't really matter what his penis looks like or what it's. I don't know how furry he is, for lack of a better term. I mean, why is this the hot button topic? I mean, not you, Jean-Pierre. I'm not trying to lash at you at this. I'm lashing out like, why, what the fuck with the left and the Democrats with this crazy shit? I mean, it's the Russian collusion shit and all that's falling apart the past couple of days. Everything's getting okayed and released in the coming days. I mean, enough is enough with this shit. I'm glad he let it drag on as long as he did. It shows how fucking batshit crazy these people have become. And I'm sorry. Tara was with me, and I thought I seen the crazy shit here in New York. I actually, sweet girl. I talked to her politely. She was, she seemed a little bit more receptive after I talked to her for a few minutes. But when I first got down to D.C., we went out to a bar, and the first thing that they're telling us is, we have an obligation to go shop at minority stores. I shit you not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's funny is that's exactly what I had been doing since I got there earlier in the day on Friday, because I was cooking dinner for us all. I was making my jambalaya. What did I do? I went down to the local fresh market where they had, everything fresh. I mean, it was fresh enough that it had been there since that morning, and it was starting to go bad with how muggy it was in there. But,
yeah.
I was buying fresh vegetables. I was shopping there. The only place I had to go that was corporate was Trader Joe's for the meat, because the butcher had a long line of people going out the door. So, and she's like, and use our public transit? That's what we're using.
Yeah.
I'm like, we've been doing that since we got here. We believe in helping out the local communities no matter where we are.
Yeah.
These people were trying to start a fight with us.
Didn't work. One of the problems that they had was they were telling me this, and I said it, but they heard me, but they didn't acknowledge it. I said, listen to the accent. All I shop is at minority stores. And seriously, this find me, a German family that owns anything around here. It ain't gonna happen. It's nothing against German people. This was originally a German neighborhood. They're all doing contracting, or they're working for the union, or they're military in this neighborhood, or they're cops, or they're some form of civil servant. This is a blue-collar working-class neighborhood. Everyone's working, but they might not all be working at those jobs. Those usually belong to people from, in this neighborhood, China, Korea, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, let me think, who else? Uzbekistan, Serbia, Bosnia, Croatia, Albania, who else? Turkey, let's not forget those Turks. You see where I'm getting at? That these people are going to tell me, oh, you got to shop somewhere diverse. You know what? Come out to Queens. Go to Jamaica Avenue. You want your diversity. These fucking people, they find one store with a brown person and they all rotate around it like satellites. But I don't want to come across like I'm ripping on these folks, because I talked to a few of them and I told them, listen, I'm hearing what you're saying, about your concerns with your city. They don't have equal representation in D.C. And I told them, I said, you guys need to get something together for a presentation and come to more next year and present it. I'll talk to the guy, I'll email him. I'll just start hammering at him now with it and try to see if we can get you on the schedule to talk about it. They're trying to get it, to make it into their own state. They don't understand. That's going to, kill them fiscally. They can try to lobby to get themselves, special representation in both houses. I definitely see that, but you can't give them a governor and a mayor of that city. It'll be complete anarchy and bedlam. It'll be like Vatican City, but worse.
You guys want to see something really funny?
Sure.
Who here is a fan of The Thing, the original one with Tim Curry?
The Thing with Tim Curry?
Or It. Excuse me.
Oh, It with Tim Curry. Yeah.
When your kids are too young to choose their own costumes, you take advantage. They dressed up their baby to look like Pennywise, and their older son to look like the kid that sees the clown in the drain.
That's so cool. You got a picture?
Yeah, so give me a second. Let me present myself. don't have everything set up right. There we go. There we go. Can you see it?
No, not yet. Still waiting.
Hold on. I'm working on it. There we go.
If there was a drum roll, the drummer would be dead by now.
There we go.
Okay. Okay, that's really cool. We all float. That's great.
That's amazing.
Yeah. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
See, that's
I found that on Facebook, so I put it on Twitter.
That's really cool. You know, that's part of what makes this country great, seriously, is there's this poster I have somewhere around the house. I don't know where the hell it is because my wife she hides everything on me. It says, they used to sell it in Spencer's years ago, America the Beautiful. And it's got all these different snapshots of all these different pictures of Americana. Just like redneck shit and ghetto shit and barrio shit, and it's just so cool. That's the thing. People don't understand that about me. Like, you can ask Tara, because she's seen me down in D.C. in action. I just talk to anybody. That's why I became a journalist. That's why I started streaming on here. I'm interested in people. That's just, and that's why I love this country. There's just so many interesting people everywhere, and it's the greatest country on earth.
I mean,
it
you
really
like talking
is.
to people when you're not protecting Burnside from getting arrested.
Yeah. Oh my God. He's got to understand. And anyone watching, I'm gonna guess for California. I'm sure the entire state. New York and D.C. both have the same thing. Yeah, you can't say something like, I try not to use the terms anyway because I do have a lot of gay friends. But you can't you can't use the term gay around here for lame, especially in Manhattan. Within New York County, which is Manhattan Island, if you say something is gay, you're running the risk of getting arrested. The same thing if if it can be interpreted that you're saying something is queer, meaning weird, but they take it to mean you're calling something gay or homosexual, yeah, you can get arrested for that. It's all considered hate speech. God forbid you get into an argument with somebody and you're like, you know what, fuck you, you're a faggot. You're going to jail. It's, I have to tell that to my wife constantly because she's constantly calling me that. I'm like, listen, you're going to get arrested for calling me that. I said, you got to stop it. And
Wow.
yeah, well, she doesn't understand how severe the PC culture. You know what the problem is because my wife and her family are Blue Dog Democrats. That's the thing. Like, Republicans up here do not exist, really. Except now, with Trump, you have a lot of Republicans that were Blue Dog Democrats for years, and they're like, enough is enough of this shit. And, excuse me, especially, like, a lot of people did not realize, like, Manhattan seceded from the country during the Civil War because Mayor Fernando Wood was a lunatic. And a lot of people on Long Island, and that includes Brooklyn and Queens, don't actually like Manhattan Island. They refer to us and the people in the Bronx and Staten Island as the bridge and tunnel crew because we all have to use bridges and tunnels to get into Manhattan. They really think who the fuck they are.
Scooby, you're being asked, where's the real Ray's Pizza?
You can go into Manhattan and have fun with that. If you want really good pizza, oh God, I can't remember the name for the life of me. It's this little place on Fulton Street in Brooklyn. And they got the best pizza in the boroughs. But if you want the best pizza on all 4 counties, that's Brooklyn, Queens, Nassau, Suffolk, you go to Piccolo Pizza in Merrick. That's on Sunrise Highway. That's Route 27, west. And you want to go, it's on the eastbound side, excuse me.
And
the eastbound
Jean-Pierre asks, what is the best of the 5 boroughs?
The best of the 5 boroughs. Really depends on what you're going for. I got a bias because I'm from Ozone Park, Queens originally. I was going to say Queens. You know, I mean, look, what I'm about to say right now is something you're not supposed to say. It's hush hush. But it's going to be like this. Queens is the shit. That's all I'm saying. So.
Scooby, you might actually want to go and look at the stream and see what William Stenchover said. You're going to laugh your ass off.
Okay, hold on. Let me look.
Yeah, Queenie there knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's see. What does it say? This computer's like a Model T Ford, so I have to give it a second to warm up so I can.
He has a potato.
I'm waiting
people.
Yeah, this is not exactly the best computer on earth. So, well, I'm waiting for the chat to open up anyway, though. But back to that Burroughs question. You know what? If you're coming out and you want to visit New York and you've never been to a city like this, just go to Manhattan. I'm not going to tell you to come to the outer boroughs because, honestly, people, I'm a little annoyed, especially now how Brooklyn looks, because it deceives people. They're like, oh, well, it looks so much like Manhattan. It must be. No, it's not. It's still Brooklyn. Seriously. You got to understand something. Out here, and I try to stress this to people, I'm not a tough guy when I say this. I grew up in around tough guys, and you basically walking into certain areas and certain bars where you might actually get the living shit beat out of you. This is a very quick to throw hands culture around here. A lot of people are into fisticuffs. They like to throw hands. They like to box. If you go out to Long Island, a lot of people are into MMA. Long Island specifically is known for their MMA culture. A lot of mixed martial artists. A friend of mine, actually, this is the truth. I'm gonna go try to find him one day at the bar. I don't have a camera at this point. Anyone who knows me knows I've been singing this song for a couple months now. Really quick, just related to that, my personal financial situation's always been, because we had the hurricane about 4 or 5 years ago, things are a little bit tight around here in the neighborhood, especially for me. I'm crippled in one leg. It's hard for me to find work. Since the president, thank God, there's help wanted signs everywhere. I've been going and putting in applications. I'm trying to find some place where, I'm not out in public because neighborhood isn't really that good. And unfortunately, when I used to work in certain stores, people who knew me would come in, Scooby, can you give me $20? So it's not that I don't want to help people, but 10 people in a day, that's $200. I can't do that. So I have to find some place where I'm not dealing with the general public in the neighborhood. But yeah, there's jobs in the neighborhood now, but it's been hard, so I haven't had a camera. And so I haven't been able to cover certain things. And
right, so while you're still waiting for the channel to load up for you, man rubbed produce on his butt.
Oh, fuck?
September 18th, a man walked into a Virginia supermarket Saturday afternoon and, after pulling down his pants, began rubbing the produce on his buttocks.
Oh,
before
God,
reshelving the items, according to police who arrested him on a pair of criminal charges. Cops arrived at Food Giant store in Manassas around 4:30 in response to a 911 call about destruction of property. A store worker told Manassas City Police Department that the suspect was spotted picking up produce, pulling down his pants, rubbing the produce on his buttocks, and replacing the produce back on the shelf. The suspect was identified as Michael Dwayne Johnson. Sure as fuck doesn't look like The Rock.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, The Rock?
Nah, it's not The Rock. Not cute enough. And was arrested inside the supermarket. Johnson, Manassas resident, was charged with indecent exposure and destruction of property, both misdemeanors. In response to Johnson's handling of the merchandise, the Giant store workers said had to destroy several pallets of produce. He was released from custody Saturday morning following an appearance before a magistrate. Well, they have to destroy the produce once it, one touches, an area like that, and then it touches the other produce. The germs just spread.
Right. Fuck. That's fucking disgusting. He had to be high on something.
Oh, another Florida man story. Father drove teens to park for sex.
What?
Lovely.
A Florida man was arrested this month after driving his 50-year-old son to a local park for a late-night sexual encounter with his girlfriend, also 15. At around 11:30 p.m. on September 6, a police officer spotted a Toyota parked after hours at Chesney Park in Port St. Lucie. The patrolman approached the vehicle and found Lawrence Mitchell, 53, in the driver's seat. Asked what he was doing that Thursday evening, Mitchell explained that his son had asked him to pick him up to pick up his girlfriend so that the minors could go to the park and do their thing. Yes, it is pronounced that way. As to why the teens would be transported to a park after hours, Mitchell replied, so they can do what kids do. Asked by a patrolman for clarification of the statement, Mitchell reportedly said, well, they aren't out there stealing, they're just having sex.
Oh, that's nice.
Mitchell acknowledged that he did not know that the girl he had picked up nor gained consent to have her out from her parents, but he added they could be doing worse. Let's see. The cop subsequently interviewed the teenagers who were returning from the soccer field. When asked what they were doing in the park, Mitchell's son replied, we were just smoking and fucking. When the cop asked the boy if his father knew what the pair was doing, the teen laughed and advised he didn't know exactly. The girl confirmed to the officer that she and the boy were engaged in sexual activity. Asked if Mitchell knew that what the two were doing, she answered, well, I mean, he drove us out here, but I don't know. Mitchell was arrested for contributing to the delinquency of a minor, for knowingly and admittedly driving two 15-year-old juveniles to a park after hours to commit sexual acts. Mitchell was freed from custody after posting a $750 bond. He is scheduled for a September 25th arraignment hearing on the misdemeanor count. And of course I am getting all this from She Hates Me Bernier.
Well, thank you, Colleen. We always appreciate everything you send to us.
Oh, I honestly, I went to her Twitter feed.
She's a nice woman. I've met her before on here. I've talked to her. Very nice person.
I don't even know where to begin on that story. Like, oh, they can be doing worse. Okay, when the girl ends up pregnant and you're taking care of a child, their kids having kids. Oh, okay, they can be doing much worse.
Yeah.
All right, so veteran prosecutor charged with shoplifting cosmetics from Publix.
Oh, wow.
And for those that don't know what a Publix is, it is a grocery chain. Veteran Broward prosecutor Stacy Onowitz struck $42.93 worth of mascara, lipstick, and other cosmetics into her purse and tried to walk out of Publix without paying for them. A security guard saw her. It was caught on camera, and now she's being charged with a misdemeanor. Onowitz, 56, was stopped Saturday evening at a Publix in Adventura according to the police report. She was suspended from her, $108,000 a year job.
Wow.
Her lawyer, Miami attorney Jane Weinrub, called it a big misunderstanding. How is it a big misunderstanding when they record her sticking merchandise in her purse? It's not like she couldn't afford the shit.
Right. She's making 6 figures and you're going to steal.
And honestly, if you're going to steal cosmetics, and this is not, I am not advocating people stealing. Okay? I've had to do what I've had to do to get by in life. I never have advocated stealing. But if you're going to steal from a place, do it at least at, like, Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
Because then you're not getting, $50 worth of merchandise. You're getting, what, $10?
Right.
And it's the same shit. I use it all the time.
I don't know. I never stole stuff myself. I always paid for it.
Rich says at Terracin, bitch, you making all that money and you stealing shit. That's exactly it, yes.
Yeah. Makes no sense. She's probably got something wrong with her.
Well, then again, Winona Ryder was caught shoplifting. I mean, and she made a shitload of money.
Well, she had something wrong with her. That's my whole point. She was nuts.
Did she get caught twice?
Yes.
A couple of times. Look at that video of her. I forget what award show it was at. But there's that big bearded halfwit, and he's talking about how we're going to punch people in the face. And she's standing there in front of him, and she looks like she's in a different state.
Yeah, she was heavily
wide-eyed.
medicated.
Yeah. What thing?
Anna Witz had been shopping with her parents and daughter Saturday and spent $124.16 on groceries. She inadvertently did not pay for the cosmetics when she checked out. She did not even leave the store after she paid. She then purchased lottery tickets and was chatting with another customer. There was no intent to commit a crime at all. Anna Witz, a supervisor in the Sex Crime and Child Abuse Unit, has built a reputation over 30 years as a tenacious prosecutor and advocate for victims' rights. She appears frequently on national news and commentary shows to discuss crime stories, child safety, and related issues. She is highly regarded and respected in the legal community for her honesty and professionalism, said former prosecutor David Frankel, who has known Howowitz for more than 30 years. She has never been afraid to fight for the rights of children in an area most people would rather not know anything about. There are literally hundreds, if not thousands, of children who are safer and whose lives are better because of her. Onowitz has self-published 2 books aimed at educating children about avoiding molestation, titled "My Privates Are Private" and "Genius with a Penis, Do Not Touch." A spokeswoman for the Broward State Attorney's Office said Howowitz will be paid using her vacation time during her suspension until her office's administrative investigation is complete. She has accumulated more than 4 weeks of vacation and personal leave. The shoplifting charge is a misdemeanor that will be handled by the Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office. Police did not take Howowitz into custody, but she was given a promise to appear ticket and allowed to go home with the groceries she had purchased. The beauty products were returned to the store. Now, I will admit that there have been times where I have, like, when I would carry my purse around, depending on how big the purse is, like, I would put things in the part of the cart where the kid goes, and end up putting my purse over something, and I pay for everything, and, I leave, and I move my purse, and there's an item I forgot to pay for.
Yeah, it happens. You know what it sounds like, too? It could also be, this woman sounds like she's old as hell. Might be the onset of senility or Alzheimer's. She might have just forgot. She might have just stuffed it in the purse and forgot. Like, she wasn't thinking clearly.
Either that
happens.
or she's like me sometimes, depending on where I'm at. I will literally carry one of those reusable grocery bags.
Mm-hmm.
And I will put my, groceries and stuff in it. I've been actually followed around a store by a security officer because I'm putting, my groceries in this bag.
Yeah.
Instead of carrying one of their baskets or pushing a cart, because I'm not buying much stuff. I only do that when I'm not buying much. And I'll go and I'll pay for it. Now, it's possible, because I haven't watched the video, so I don't know. But it's possible that what happened is she was meaning to put them into her grocer bag to purchase them and accidentally put them in her purse.
Yeah, it happens.
Richard Art says, Tara Sin, there's a teacher at my school with a big beard, with a bigger beard than me. I've just got fuzz, but she's got hairs bigger than, I think, beard bigger than mine, and she had a nice ass, but when I saw her beard, I want out of Cal now. You poor child.
Yeah. Well, Cali ain't that bad. I mean, I don't know. I haven't been there. So I'm not going to talk. I'll take your word for it, man. Cali must be horrible. That sucks, man. Seriously. I remember when I was a kid when Cali was actually cool. Fucking Golden State.
Alright,
Yes,
we
now
are
it's you.
2 minutes till the end of the show, which means I get to bitch out Burnside later.
Yeah.
So, Queen of the South, do you want to shill your shit?
No, I don't have anything to chill.
Alright, Scooby?
Oh, well, you guys know the deal. I'm Scooby331. You guys can follow me here on YouTube. I am on Minds.com, Gab AI, Patreon, and PayPal. I'm going to try to cover the San Gennaro Feast sometime this week if it's going on right now. I got to look at the calendar. And I'm going to try to cover Columbus Day unless I missed it. Yesterday was Constitution Day. I kind of missed that one because, I got to get on top of shit. But don't worry, new videos will be coming. Just keep checking the channel.
And I am Tara Sin, your favorite cyber bitch. I'm working on getting a Redbubble account going because Burnside and Nightcrow have invited me and Scooby to Chicago for an anime con, and we also still want to do more again next year. So I'm making shirts and travel mugs and a few other things. Right now all I have out is Harley Sin, but soon I'll be putting out a few more, and as soon as I have a bank account to link to the damn thing, it will be available to the public to purchase. In the description below is a GoFundMe link for my friend Ben. He was hit on his motorcycle. His motorcycle was totaled. He was in the hospital for a good while, had multiple surgeries. He broke his pelvis in 12 places, his arm in 12 places. I mean, just go and read the story. It was actually written out by him. All I did was edit it just a little bit so that it wasn't so sporadic, because he was telling me in a private message the story. So please, if you can, donate what you can. We've already raised $300. Our goal is $50,000 because he is not allowed to go back to work for another year. So please donate if you can. If you can't, share the link. And that is going to be it for us tonight. Everybody have a great night, and hopefully I will do a show tomorrow night. Night all.